As it's been a few days since probably even a week since I've had drip irrigation installed in my garden, I'm noticing little by little things that I need to change with the drip irrigation, such as this week is supposed to be a really rainy week. It already rained overnight into this morning really bad, and I saw that it was going to rain in the forecast, and I still forgot to come out here and turn off my drip. But then this morning, our hot water heater actually a pipe bust in the hot water heater and was squirting water everywhere, so we had to turn off our water. So the drip ended up being turned off because we had to shut off our well, and it's still not on, which is good. But then as I was thinking about it, I don't actually want to turn off the water completely, because even though it's going to be, I don't want water coming to the garden, and it's going to be raining, and so I don't want to water the garden this week. So I want to turn off the water from watering these beds, but I don't want to turn off the water from watering inside my hoop house. The hoop house's drip irrigation is on the same timer and in the same main line as the garden, and so when it turns on for 2 hours, it waters in here. And so I don't want to shut off the whole drip irrigation, and so I just thought about that and realized I actually put a shutoff valve which separates water going towards the hoop house. But what I should have really done is put the shutoff valve for the water going into the garden, in case I wanted to turn off, just like in situations like this, turn off the water from entering into the garden and still have it enter inside the hoop house. What is it? Oh yeah, and it's almost red, all red. Cool. Also, reminder, today is Greenstalk's biggest sale of the year, so if you're interested in a Greenstalk, you can use my discount code FAMILY10 and you'll receive an extra $10 off of your purchase of a Greenstalk. I have 6 of them. This is the leaf planter that I planted dwarf tomatoes, nasturtiums, marigolds, dwarf zinnias, peppers, and usually they tell you to plant stuff like that inside the original planter, but I'm trying it this year in the leaf planter, and obviously I'll bring you guys along with me to see how they do in the leaf planter. But so far so good. I've seen that we've started getting some nasturtium blooms, which are really pretty. So this is actually what I'm talking about. This shutoff valve right here, I can turn this off. Right now it's open, and stop water from going in my hoop house. And the reason why I put that there is because I was thinking about in the winter time or the fall time, when I don't like, when it's like January and it gets down to like that 15 degrees, that really cold, I won't be having water go into the hoop house. And so I put that there thinking that there might be a time when I don't want water going into the hoop house. But what I should have really done is put it on the opposite side, or even just adding a drip or a shutoff valve into the garden, because now I want to shut off water coming into the garden. And I have actually a place at the beginning of the right side of my garden. So I do have a shutoff valve here, which really it really would have been better to put the shutoff valve in this bed so that I cannot water this bed specifically. But if I turn this shutoff valve, it's going to stop water from coming to this whole side of the garden, which I'm going to do because, like I said, it's going to be raining this week. And so that stops water from coming all the way down here. But I don't have a shutoff valve anywhere to shut off from water going down here. And so what I just need to do is go down each bed and turn off the water from watering each bed, because like I said, it's going to be raining multiple times this week. As I was shutting off valves, I just saw that I have my first squash right here, and I'm actually going to hand pollinate this zucchini right here. I'm assuming it's one of the lighter ones, but I'm gonna open this flower and open that one, and just in case the bees didn't do their job. And how you do that is you just open this one and you open that one. I'm trying to do it with one hand, and you just let them touch. Sometimes the first few squash that you get, they fall off because they're not fully pollinated, and so to avoid all of that, I'm just hand pollinating that squash, and I'm so happy that'll be my first zucchini of the season. Obviously, I don't have any more shutoff valves, or else I would have just attached one to the beginning and had to avoid going to each individual area and shutting it off. But that will be noted to get an individual shutoff valve to put, so that in cases like this, I can shut off the garden but not shut off the hoop house. So I have a few more sweet potato slips that I got from my friend, since mine of this variety wasn't ready when I planted sweet potatoes, and I'm thinking about planting them in this in-ground bed to see if they can compete with the weeds that I have over here. This is the bed I was thinking about. There isn't drip on it right now because I wasn't sure what I want to do with this bed, and there's still some flowers, like you can see some cosmos, some yarrow, some status, that I grew from seed and planted in here. But then all back here is where my dog had dug up, so there's still probably like 2 or 3 more flowers that they didn't, but they messed up all of my basils and stuff like that. So I was wondering if this would be a good place to put the sweet potatoes, so the sweet potatoes can like ultimately just take over this whole bed, and then just let it grow this summer all the way until the fall, and then rethink about this, like rework this. I don't know. I bought them over here with me. This is the only bed besides my metal beds that I have available at the moment, and I know it has a lot of weeds in it, and so I could definitely plant these in here because I'm not trying to weed right now. Plant these in here. I think that's what I'm going to do. Plant these in here, come back, and then weed another day, and hopefully keep up with the weeds enough until the sweet potatoes get bigger, and then I can kind of like let them go. So I only had 3 slips, so I put them there. I did have to weed around that one, and I'll come back out here and weed around these flowers, and then probably plant some more basil and marigold seeds because that is where I transplanted all of my basil, and I think when the dog got in there that they removed all of my basil seedlings. So right now the only places I have basil are the basil that reseeded itself in this in-ground bed right here. This bed just looks so pretty. This pepper bed, the sweet pepper bed, I think both my sweet pepper bed and my spicy pepper bed look so great because the peppers are getting all bushy because I topped a lot of them and made them come out like get really bushy, and so I think it's starting to look really good on both of the beds. They're starting to get really full, especially the marigold. So this is the marigold I planted from seed, and so is that one. That one's already about to bloom, and then I have some nasturtiums that I grew from seed, but the peppers are just like looking like they're gonna be a great pepper year. This would actually be the first year, or because I made pepper powder about 2 years ago, and I had it in like I think it was a 16-ounce jar. I dehydrated all the peppers, blended them up, and then made like spicy pepper blend, and I just recently ran out of that, and I had way less peppers 2 years ago than spicy peppers than I planted this year. And I do still plan on pickling like the Santa Fe Grandes with like pepperoncinis and stuff like that, because that was really tasty. But for the most part, I probably am gonna still freeze dry and dehydrate the spicy peppers and then make another 16-ounce container of the spicy pepper powder. It was really delicious when I put it in things. It just gave it like a slight kick, and it was a nice way to like ease my family into eating anything that has like a slight kick, because they think black pepper's spicy if you just add too much. So I don't really cook with black pepper at all. It's actually a little later in the day. We had friends come over, and so I put the camera down, but now we're back outside because we were actually moving the pigs. We still have, I showed when the piglets were about, I think I showed when they were like a few days old, but they are now going to be 9 weeks tomorrow, and we have someone wanting to pick up about 5 of them, and so we're moving them closer to the front so it's easier to catch them when someone comes. Also, we still have puppies if anyone's interested in a puppy and they live in South Carolina or close to South Carolina and they're looking for a Great Pyrenees. But we're gonna go ahead. All the animals are going to bed. The chickens are already in bed. These ones are going to bed. So we're gonna go ahead and go to bed as well.
Don't want to get jumped on.
So we'll see you guys next time. Bye.